Hey guys, so a really big chapter in my life just closed, and I kind of wanted to tell my side of the story. About 5 years or so ago, I was working at a taxi company, and I met this guy. I think he was fresh out of jail or something stupid, some red flag that I ignored. But he was just so cute and so, I don't know, he drew me in, and I fell hard. If any of y'all have ever heard that Ali and AJ song "Chemicals React," that's basically how I felt. And I told him, I was like, "Hey, I really like you, and I wanted to see if it would be a possibility to go out." And he had told me, "Well, I've never dated a guy or been with a guy, but I'm open to giving it a shot." He'll deny that now. Um, Later on that story. So, we became friends. He eventually came to live with me because his situation just wasn't good. But who knows? It might have actually been good since I've been on the other side of the situation isn't good twice now. We lived together for about a year, in which, I got a phone line opened for him. Keep in mind, the phone just barely got paid off last year, so 5 years, that fucking phone was on my bill. Helped him get jobs, and he would quit, and he'd just get high all the time. And I don't have a problem with pot. It's a plant, it's natural. I don't do it, but not everyone does everything, and that's fine. When it's legalized here in my state, I fully plan on opening a dispensary next to a bakery. Owning both. But when it gets to the point where you're always getting high, and you quit going to work, and you quit paying rent and contributing to bills, and keep trying to use me whenever, at the time, I had recently, gotten robbed and beat at my job, was dealing with a minor brain injury, credit card debt being racked up, all sorts of things, losing my job. It got to be too much, and you can't tell me all he was doing was weed whenever I'd come home and he was slumped over on the couch, and his excuse was, I couldn't make it up the stairs, I was too high. I've never met a pothead that couldn't fucking walk anywhere. Or he'd leave the oven on all night with shit burning. It's a real problem. That wasn't weed. That's that fucking meth shit that I didn't know he was doing back then, but now I know. 5 years later, at the age of 32 for him, I knew him when he was 27. The original story is when he was 27. Now he's 32. He's been doing meth for who knows how long, as a teenager. And when an addict's been an addict for that long, their brain is completely changed. There is no reasoning, and I hate that.
I didn't understand that.
Get out of here, Big City. And it's just crazy, So things ended really bad. I legit was in love with this guy, gave him my heart and everything, and he trampled on it. He lied every day, and it's just, I account that for why I'm kind of mistrusting of people, why I don't seek out people to date or to love or anything like that, because of how bad that went and how paranoid I became of people around me looking to use me, looking to say, whatever they needed to. And I mean, let's be honest, he wasn't all that. Not then, not now. He doesn't have a car, he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have, personal hygiene in order. In fact, his teeth are so destroyed. And I thought it was from, not brushing them properly, but it's probably from meth. It's probably from grinding them. They're about half the size that teeth should be, And he's always so full of himself. And I'm like, why? You have no job, you have no car, you have no money, you have no girlfriend, no boyfriend. You have no self-worth, All you have is drug addiction. And it blows my mind that his brain's so cross-wired, he can't understand that that's not a good thing. So we don't talk for almost 5 years. Towards the end of the 4th year, I noticed that he unblocked me on Facebook because he popped up in my messenger. And I said, what? Why did you unblock me? Like, what could you possibly want? And he apologized for everything, you know. It took about 2-3 months of me, you know, really cold shouldering him, really keeping my guard up. Like, I couldn't even sit down next to him without being locked up, because I was like, nope, he's gonna do something, he's gonna do something, he's gonna break your heart. And, you know, he answered all my questions from the past. He owned up to everything. He told me I was never in the wrong, that he was completely wrong, and he did everything wrong, and I didn't do anything wrong. And, you know, it was nice to hear that after all that time. It's nice to get that closure. But I told him, I will never think of you romantically or sexually. You know, you broke my heart back then, and you're just a person to me now. And if you want to pursue a friendship, you know, that's fine. But I said, you can't live with me again. He's like, oh, I would never dream to ask. I wouldn't be that dumb. Well, eventually, you know, I find out his current living situation is a lawn chair in the garage of a friend. And I just didn't feel right, like, when I had the spare room, that I could have helped, you know? So eventually let him move back in. And he was nice. He had shown me that he wasn't the same person he was. He even became real affectionate. Like, he was a big hugger and cuddler. Like, I woke up one day with him cuddling me, and then we became a friendship where, you know, we would lay down and cuddle together. And, you know, it was nice that I could have a straight friend in which I could have that kind of friendship and intimacy without having to worry about sexual natures or desires or anything, you know? Because, again, and I don't know how many times I can make this clear, this time around I wasn't into him that way. But that would be the narrative I found out that he was telling people. So I didn't know he was doing meth the entire 7 months he was here. I thought it was just, you know, in the more recent months. Last week, I was suspicious. He was up for 3 days straight, and then he was passed out for about 16 hours. He left his backpack in my room, open. An eyeglass case was in there, and I could see just a little peek of a plastic bag. I'm like, why would a plastic bag be in an eyeglass case? And he'll tell you that I went and found his backpack and searched it. No, baby. You were fucking high. You left that in my room, the flap wide open, and then I see a little tip of a plastic bagging sticking out of an eyeglass case when you don't even wear glasses. You weren't as smart as you thought. I opened it up to find a meth pipe, a baggie with just a little bit of meth in it, and then I peeled back the lining because I noticed it had been shifted, and there was another full bag of meth. So I took it out, I put a note in it that originally said, you know, go fuck yourself and get out. And I thought, you know what, maybe he just relapsed and he needs a friend to be there for him. So I took the note out and I put, hey, we need to talk. I'm here for you, my friend. I love you. Just remember that. Like, I'm here to help. So he eventually woke up. He was on a search for his backpack. He didn't know who I was when he woke up. He says it was because he was cranky. No, he honestly had no idea who I was for a split second. Came and apologized. And then he was searching. I was like, what are you looking for? I said, are you looking for your little backpack? He's like, yes. And looked at me paranoid. I'm like, okay, calm down. You left it in my room. I said, I guess you took a nap in there before you went to your bed. My room has an AC window unit, so it's always the coldest in the house, and it's really hot here in Texas. And, you know, he came out, telling me to go get a life, to go fuck myself. Sorry. Texting someone. And I just walked around and said, why are you doing this? And he's like, I'm never going to quit. I love it. I was like, but why? He's like, because I think I'm doing all right. I said, okay, well, you're living in my house for free because you aren't paying any rent. I said, you have no job, no car, no money, no one in your love life. I said, no ambitions. I said, all you have is a meth addiction. How is that doing all right in life? And then, you know, I said, if it wasn't for me, I said, you'd be homeless right now, Brandon. And I said, I'm not saying that. I to wage war against you or to hang something over your head. It's to make you realize, like, hey, your life isn't where it needs to be right now. So, you know, he put on his sunglasses because he didn't want me to see his eyes. Sat down, started smoking a cigarette to come down, and we talked. And he's like, I want to quit. And he's like, I need help. I'm an addict. I said, I know. It's an addiction. I said, I know addiction isn't easy. And I'm not looking for an overnight fix. I said, I'm not going to throw you out right now. I said, if you promise to quit and really be serious with me, be honest with me. I said, if you have a relapse while we're working on getting you clean, if you do any other drug, you know, and I told him, I don't give a shit if you go smoke pot somewhere. I don't give a damn. It's not going to kill you. Meth will. You know, it fucks with you. I said, if I had to find out, because you weren't honest and you didn't just tell me that, hey, I fucked up, I had a relapse. So I told him, it's going to be a couple of those. But if I have to find out, you can't live here. Because I can't trust you. I can't trust you not to bring that stuff in my house. Because here's the thing, guys. No matter how much you love an addict, if they bring that stuff into your house, and for whatever reason the cops come, it's your house and you're in trouble for that. And that's, you know, something that he just didn't care. It was the disrespect there. There's a girl that he likes who he told me was a dumb bitch, and she had got STD from her last drug dealer boyfriend, and that he just really didn't see her that way, blah, blah, blah. But he did. Like I told him, I was like, I know you like her. Like, it's not hard to tell. Like, you're really trying to convince yourself that you don't. So I find out she's part of this whole drug shit too. So his friends, you know, and everyone do it. He takes it to her and they do it, and I'm guessing she sells it. I don't know. Meth bitches are nasty. And I'm like, didn't you tell me she got an STD from her drug dealer boyfriend and you're over there ready to fuck her? But she still claims that they weren't fucking or anything. But I'm like, really? You're on meth, she's on meth, you have a dick, she doesn't. It seems like pretty basic math here. I find out he's telling his friends, oh, Nick's real jealous that I'm talking to Leanne. I was like, no, baby, I'm really fucking not. Like, I didn't even care. I was rooting for you to find love because I figured it would motivate you to become a better man, you know. But he was so convinced and so had to be the center of attention that I just had to be in love with him. It's like, no, I'm not in that way at all. So, you know, I keep trying to get him to take a home drug test. I buy some really nice ones that really test a lot of shit and then come with a lab test. But he kept avoiding it. He avoided it for 4 days, and then he finally took it. And then he's like, yep, told you it's clean. I was like, yep, everything was out of your system by now. It's been 4 fucking days. And I was just suspicious of that to begin with. But I was going to be like, you know what? He really went the extra mile to try to seem like he's clean. Maybe it's just taking him a little bit longer. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I can relax, because I haven't had much sleep over the last week because of this shit. So he's at that girl's house. He tells me that he's gonna go help her parents dig up flower beds and do some yard work, earn some cash to help me pay the water bill. Which, you know, I'm fucked and I have to pay that on my own now, but whatever. The little bit of money that I was going to get from him for the water bill is going to be saved in all the times I'm not being asked for a couple dollars to go get cigarettes or stupid shit. I call his friend because he had told me when I busted him that he had sold my flashlight that came with my tool set, you know, my DeWalt tool set, you know, to his friend. He said he sold it for $20 to get money for drugs. His friend told me he sold it to him for $60. You know, he told me that he was still using, that he had just used that day, and that he had a whole bunch on him, like 7 grams. So that's when I finally broke my agreement with myself, because I honestly, back in the day, I used to read his messages, log into his emails, his Facebooks, and just keep tabs on him. But I said, I can't do that. I can't be that way this time in the friendship. I have to trust him. I have to trust and have faith that he's going to be better. He still thinks I've been reading his messages the whole time. No, I went and read them all after his friend confirmed all that. even even during this, that's what he kept trying to like focus on. He's like, "Oh, you read my messages. You're not gonna admit that you were wrong to do that." Like, no, baby, that's my phone bill. That's my phone. Like, I didn't. I wouldn't be in the wrong for that, especially if finding out you're still doing meth. Like, how are you not focusing on the fact that you're lying in my house? You're still doing meth in my house. Like, I don't know if he did it in my house, but he had it at some point, and that's when he got caught. And, I'm going through his messages, and I see this huge rock of meth in a pitcher on a scale. And that's why I message him, like, I'm going to read the messages, I don't need a he said, she said, especially here on the internet. I'm going to read the messages to you guys. Keep in mind, I just got off working a double shift. I teach culinary arts, and I had to teach 2 classes back to back. This whole day, he's talking to me, being nice, and, I see that, and I tell him, I want you to bring your key. You know what you did today. At least your friend was honest with me. And he puts a little laughing reaction. Because he's already got it worked out that he's going to tell me that picture's fake, and that he planted it to catch me snooping. Keep that in mind. I said, you never got my flashlight back, because he told me he went and bought it back, and he just kept forgetting to pick it up. Like, really? The friend's house that you're at every fucking day? I said, you only have 2 friends. Like, it isn't hard to know where you are. I said, whose pee did you have me test? Because you know what, guys, when I did that piss test, that shit was real light and lukewarm when I was putting that cup into the box to ship it off, because again, it comes with the lab test. I said, it's fine if you want to stay a drug addict. I said, you can't do it here. I said, I'm done and I'm tired. You are who you are. I just want a peaceful break. Can we just do that? His first response after that laughing reaction is, so you've been reading my text? I said, nope. I called your friend to get to the bottom of the flashlight situation, to see if I could get help getting you clean, because I figured, hey, maybe if I can get his friends involved, we can be a whole circle of support. I said, the point in all this is you're doing meth. Let's focus on that. I said, after taking a drug test and lying to me, I said, I don't want to argue or fight. I just want you to leave. He tells me, I don't have anywhere to go, and you're doing exactly what you said you wouldn't. Trying to manipulate me there, because I said I wasn't going to kick him out last week. But I did tell him, if you're still doing drugs, because you never stopped, you could not stay. And I said, and you're doing what you said you wouldn't. He said, doing what? 70 grams? I said, been lying and manipulating to me this whole time and lying about getting sober? He said, nope. I was suspicious of you reading my texts and pic messages, so I set it up to see. I said, really? Your friend told me y'all do drugs together. I said, he's on his way to bringing back my flashlight. He also told me you have no intention to stop. I said, it's funny that you're trying to turn this around on me and make me in the wrong when you're still doing this stuff. I told you I'd help you. I said, but your friend even told me you haven't stopped using once. I said, I'm getting my info from your friend, not from messages. Not from reading messages. I said, it's real simple, Brandon. All you had to do was stop. I gave you everything you asked for. I stretched myself thin trying to build you up, and it's like I've been a dumbass this whole time. He responded with, I never said I had no intention to quit. You're dodging my question, 70 grams. See, he's not owning up to what he's doing wrong. He's trying to find a way to make me the bad guy in all this. And that's the mentality of a drug addict, especially when it's been doing it for, almost 20 years. I said, what about it? I said, or 7 grams, whatever. He's like, where did that come from? There's only one thing I purposely sent in a picture. I said, once your friend confirmed that you were still using, I did go look at your messages. So there, I'm owning up to it. But again, it's after, and that's the thing he's never going to admit, never going to own up to, never going to tell anyone when he tells this story. I looked after his friend told me. Oh, at least give me some time to find somewhere else to go, or just do me like the last people did. He's talking about the last people who locked the door and kicked him out, and he told me he didn't know why. He said they were drug addicts. No, I'm pretty sure it's because you were the drug addict, and you fucked up there, But this is how Brandon is. He never has a home, never has a place to go. He bragged about, over the last 4 years, about helping some lady that crashed into him, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that makes no sense. This lady that you don't know crashes into you, almost kills you in your car wreck, and you go visit her in the hospital and become friends. Like, that doesn't make sense. That never made sense. That story never made any sense. But I figured it was some story you need to tell yourself to feel good. I said, it's after hearing about it, Brandon, that I did. I said, I don't trust you. I said, you're still trying to manipulate me. He's like, nope. I said, yeah, I sold some today. I said, You were trying to make me the guilty one and all this. He's like, nope, I went to make a quick buck, that's it. I said, how am I supposed to believe that? Like, really, a meth addict of 20 years is able to just sell drugs and, oh, I'm sorry, am I supposed to just be like, oh, you're just selling it? Entrepreneurship. No. I don't want you to have any ties to drugs. You know? He's gonna die, guys. Like, one day he is going to die from this. It's already messing up other parts of his body. I said, how am I supposed to believe this when your friends told me everything? I said, even that you never got my flashlight back, that you actually sold it to him for 60, not 20, that you did something with him today and have been. I told you that if you came back, I wouldn't be run over like I did years ago. I said, I'm not in love with you like I was years ago, so there's no way for me to be rose-tinted glasses, you know? So you sat here and told me that I was your brother, Brandon, that you loved me. I said, why? So it just ignore the bad? I said, what do you mean give you a couple days? And I quote it like the others did. I said, have the drugs put you in the situation before? He's like, oh, your overthinking is getting the best of you. Again, trying to manipulate me because I am an overthinker. But I said, no, baby, I have pictures. I have evidence. I have testimonies. This isn't overthinking. I didn't make up this scenario. This is what's going on. This is life. I said, no, not this time. It's black and white and you aren't clean. He sends a thumbs up. Passive aggressive. I just want you to bring your keys and take your stuff, because at this point, I had already packed all this shit up in trash bags and put it on the driveway. I was like, nope, you don't need to come in this house for shit. It's all here. I didn't break any of it. I didn't tear any of it up. I have a picture of the condition of everything. I said, the least you could do, I said, Brandon, I seriously loved you like family. I lowered my guard months ago because you kept telling me you had changed. I let you back into my house and have my trust. The least you could do is own up to everything right now. Everything over the last 7 rent-free months that you've been playing me. Oh, I told you the truth, except that I know you've been reading my text, so if this is your way of getting out of that truth, so be it. Again, even if I had been reading his text messages, how is that on the same level as you taking illicit drugs and lying about it? How? How is that the same as you stealing my stuff and selling it to buy drugs? That's how, like, twisted his brain is. He honestly thinks that's the problem. He honestly thinks that's the big deal. I said, I haven't been. I said, I did today after hearing from Shane, but I've resisted. He says, shake my head. I said, how are you seriously trying to make me the bad guy? I said, you're doing meth, Brandon, and selling it. He's like, I know, sure does look that way, doesn't it? I said, God, why are you such a manipulator, even now, trying to make me think I'm the guilty one? Sure. See, right there. It's right there. I said, are you seriously trying to make me reading text? And I put it in parentheses, which isn't the case besides today. Worse than you doing drugs? Is that seriously the narrative? He just says, bye. I said, what about my keys? What about your stuff? Oh, I've talked to Shane. Oh, sorry, I was trying to keep the friend anonymous. Since what you've been saying didn't make sense. And I said, so have I. You can go live with him. I said, I've been texting him that you are denying about using and having his, and surprise. Nope, I give up. I said, fine, Brandon, make me the villain, believe I was reading your messages, don't own up to your wrongdoings. I give up too. You're never going to change, and I'm the idiot that believed you would. I've been honest daily with you about my desire to read your messages, that I haven't out of determination to have faith and believe in you. You're no villain. I just knew you were snooping, so I fucked with your back. He's still trying to tell me that this picture of this meth on a scale was fake, when his friend confirmed it was real. And he also slipped up and said, yeah, I have it, I'm selling it. Like, you forgot your lie, dude. I said, well, your friend's on his way with my flashlight, and I wasn't playing you yesterday, so I don't know why you're saying that. He's like, well, I meant that I knew you'd been reading my text. He's like, cool, sorry I didn't make it back with it myself. He's saying, sorry I didn't make it back with your flashlight himself, because he's still trying to say that he had already bought it back, which, no, his friend told me he hadn't. I said, well, your friend's here and packing up your stuff for you. Where are you? You know, because he's coming back from that girl's house. So I'm talking to his friends, and I'm finding out they've been told the narrative that I'm dick crazy for him, and that's the whole reason that I'm so crazy, and because I can't have him. I was like, no. I told them point blank, I said, I can show you the messages. I said, this dude, if I wanted it, I could have had it. I said, we cuddled all the time. I said, he always let me know when he was going to go masturbate, like, you know, and they're like, oh, he never tells us that he's going to masturbate or anything sexual. I said, yeah, because he likes to pretend. This stuff has gotten him so messed up over the years that, you know, he confided in some friends that he can't even come. Sorry for the explicit nature of this story. But having sex with someone, he just can't keep it up and going. He has to masturbate to even try. You know, I found my condoms missing and found his YouTube history to have how to make sex toys out of gloves and condoms. And that annoyed me. Like, how are you going to sit here on this high horse about how you're above sexual energy and metaphysical bullshit? Like, no, dude, no. And you're going to tell everyone that it's because I'm bipolar or something, or that I was after you romantically, and I said, that's not it. You betrayed my trust. If by some chance you hear this, Brandon, I want you to understand the whole problem here wasn't just because you were doing drugs or selling them. It's because you lied. And you kept with this lie throughout the entire time. Had you once just said, yeah, I have them, it's a real picture, I'm still doing it, we could have resolved this so much more peacefully. I could have let you stay in the garage, like, apartment for a couple days till you found somewhere to go. I said you wouldn't have had any keys or access to the house, but I would have done that for you at least. It's just crazy to me that you had a place where someone who genuinely loved you like family, took care of you like family, celebrated your birthday like no one had done in your past. And that's another thing. He's 32, and he still blames his childhood for how he acts and turns out, talking about his paradigm. I'm like, okay, great. We've all had terrible childhoods, you know? I was gay in a family where that wasn't allowed, where I was taken and publicly shamed for being gay by my mother and father in a restaurant. You know, I felt alone all my life in my own house. And that's why I'm so loving to people, because I don't ever want anyone else to feel like that. But I don't let that rule me. I worked 3 jobs the past 2.5 years while going to school full time because I finally decided being a college dropout wasn't going to be my legacy. And I went and got my degree. And he couldn't even get up to go get a job that was basically guaranteed. All he had to do was apply, and he'd get paid weekly. I come out and tell him, hey, start getting ready, and I'll drive you over there so you don't have to ride your bike and be sweaty for your first interview. I come back out 30 minutes later, he's still working on these bikes. He had been working on these bikes with weed eater mowers for months, and that should have been the key that he's a meth head, because they love to work on shit like that, thinking he was going to make a full-time job out of it. I'm like, dude, your shit breaks every other day. Your mounts break, your rigging breaks, your accelerating doesn't stay, your carburetors are always fucked because you don't know what you're doing. So again, tell me how you're going to sell these for $300, $200, you know? And he tells me, I lost track of time. I'm not going to be ready. I'm not going. I was like, what do you mean? There's still 30 minutes, and it's literally a 1-minute drive. There's plenty of time. So just throw on a t-shirt that's clean and some jeans and take a shower real quick. I lost track of time. And like, really? I said, don't yell at me. I said, I don't know why you're pissed at me. I said, you've been up all fucking night, I can tell. So the fact that you didn't put your shit in the washer. He's like, well, I threw the trash out. I said, that's wonderful. You told me that you were going to throw trash out when you saw me taking it to the curb. You said, oh, I'll do that. So great, you know. I was like, you had a guaranteed part-time job right here. And that's all I asked of you. Enough of a job to keep you busy, to have money to pay the bills. You're a dumb drug addict. You could have used that money to buy drugs and I would have never known. But, you know, you'd rather steal. You'd rather lie. You'd rather manipulate. And I've talked to everyone that you've lived with in the past couple of years today. And the stories are all the same. I didn't tell them who I was or what the situation between you and me was. I just asked if they knew you and what their experience of living with you was like. The thing is, Brandon, you have so much love in this world for you, but you throw it away for meth. Think about it, dude. You can't come. You're 32 and you're taking supplemental testosterone pills. And you're telling me it's because the accident with your testicle hurt you? No, it's because the meth hurt you. It fucked with your blood circulatory systems and everything. Like, I'm so sad for you every day that you'll never understand that you have a problem. I don't think I ever want you to come back into my life. Definitely never to live with me or to know where I live again. But, you know, I do hope that you find something, that gets you out of this addiction once and for all. I told you where the Narcotics Anonymous meetings were, and you should have started going. You should have went at least once a week just to see if you could quit. You run from your life physically and through drugs. And you want to sit here and be on a high horse and treat me like shit and talk to me like that. And I told you I wasn't going to do it. I should have kicked you out months ago. But I kept holding hope that if someone just took a chance on you, you'd realize, wow, I really am fucking up. I love you to death. You're always going to be like a family member to me. But sometimes tough love is the only love you can give. I couldn't sleep last night because I didn't know if you were safe. I walked to the back tool shed where you were every morning. It's so heartbreaking because we would tell each other good night every night. We'd tell each other good morning. You were such an integral part of my life for the last 7 months. And I just don't know what to believe, what was real, what was a real friendship, and what was just a long con. And that's the part that hurts the most, is I just don't know if you ever cared about me, if I was ever your friend, or ever treated like family. But I do, I really do hope for the best for you, and I hope that one day, but it's getting so far in your life, Brandon, you're 32, and I just hope one day you wise up and something knocks some sense into you that these drugs are going to kill you, that it's not a good life to live, and that you're so much smarter and better than this stuff. It just really breaks my heart. And what annoys me is, most of my family thought there was some relationship going on between us, so they've discredited that, anything was wrong, and it's like, no, there wasn't a relationship, there was no desire for one. It was just a friendship, me really trying to help someone from my past that told me they were trying to better themselves. And you're gonna hate me. That part sucks the most, is knowing how much you're gonna hate me. How I'm becoming one of those stories that you told me, or you're gonna tell the next person. Because you're so delusioned that you can't admit your wrongdoings and all this. That you can't see that I'm genuinely worried about you. I love you so much, and I really hope one day we can talk. And you can show me that you've been clean for years. I can dread test you on the spot and it's clean. Again, all I asked for was honesty. Had you just told me, we could have worked it out. We could have taken you to a meeting, or we could have gave you a couple days in the garage apartment, a little thing, to find somewhere else to live. But I just didn't trust you anymore, because you just kept lying. You even kept lying in the moment. And you kept trying to make me seem like the bad guy, and I was like, I'm not the bad guy for standing up for myself. And that's the thing with these abusive friendships and relationships out there in the world. You're not the bad person for finally putting yourself first. And I wish more people would know that. I wish more people would just, when the addict is there, just send them to rehab or send them out of your life. It's not worth the financial and mental and emotional and spiritual and physical stress of trying to help someone who will never want help. But that's my story, and I wanted to tell it, and I'm sorry this is such a long video, and I hope somehow in YouTube this gets out to whoever needs to hear it. I plan to, now that I'm not dealing with trying to help a friend get clean and having free time and being a college graduate finally, recording stuff on this channel, from cooking videos to makeup to anything, just random talking. And I hope that, someone out there resonates and maybe you want to join and be here to talk. I hope everyone that heard this got something that they needed out of it.